Under pressure.
Greetings everybody. Welcome back. You know me already, my name's Richard Erman and you are watching Victory Assured. For tonight, we are going to play a new session of Sid Meier's Civilization 4. This time, not with Fall from Heaven 2, but instead with another very big and important mod, Caveman2Cosmos. So join me in another history guide. Right, there we are. Large Earth map with no presets. So, who are we? I say... let's be... oh sure, let's be headhunters. Because nothing sounds more or less. We're playing on Monarch. We're going to take eons to finish this. City flipping, raging barbarians. Okay, aggressive AI. Unrestricted leaders. Because it doesn't really make any difference. Let's so I don't think, no, we don't want vassal states. No barbarian worlds, limited religions, no barbarian civs because that's shite. Start as minor civs, oh yes. Surround and destroy. Advanced diplomacy, unlimited wonders. Barbarian generals is nice. Ruthless AR. Culture. Advanced. Yes. Yes. Infinite XP. Let's take pure trade, start without positive trades and developing leaders. Yeah, okay. So also No, no, no. More rivers and more resources is kind of pointless because this is not a randomly created map. Hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. No. This is nice. I really want, because this is always so stupid. The fact that you have a hunting unit that destroys an animal or basically gets it and you don't get anything for it. Okay, that's useful. No. Okay, yes. Oh, Neanderthal cities. Yeah, sure. Cities start with one tile is very useful actually. Okay, so far so good. So yeah, this should be fine. Let's get to it. Let's make it 12 AI opponents. Yeah, 12. Now comes the fun part, the loading screen, because this can take some time. Gods, this can take some time. Now, let me take a second to tell you something about Caveman2Cosmos. Why Caveman2Cosmos? Well, if I remember correctly, it's actually a spawn from what originally started with the Rise of Mankind mod. Or it is. No, I think it is. The important thing of it isn't that it's basically a fork from that one and that went on to develop, but this is the single largest mod you'll ever find in regards of technology and development possibilities. It has just about everything, from crime rate to the idea that you need border checks to food crises and everything in between. This mod is humongously big in what it achieves and what it does. And not all concepts work, but enough that I do find myself returning to it again and again and again. So yeah, I okay. We have a South American Jivaru Empire of the Headhunters, led by um I think he's Portuguese. Anyway, by Christian the Fourth. Oh no, oh maybe he's Danish. He's Danish, okay. He's awesome. A quick small change to the box settings. Now we could be in South America. Don't have to be, however. Yeah, okay. There was one option in particular I wanted to. there was an option where you could actually change the way that for a civilization, or basically the player civilization, you got to change how many units can stand in one spot, which is very important actually for the base game, because it changes how you can basically work with the tiles. Just now, right? Also, I'm very sure that it is. It's just definitely. Didn't it be on the map? Well, it's not on. On here. Or seem to remember this was such an important thing as well. Oh, max units per tile, there it is. Yeah, 15. Now I might wonder, why am I changing it to 15? 15 is an interesting number. 15 is the maximum number of national units of one can actually. And I'm taking that number to be our max number basically. Also, give me a second here. I just noticed that one. Okay, because I found that game doesn't work really well otherwise. Now, as you can see, the time is 50,000 BCE for the Common Era. We are currently living in the Common Era of the year 2017. We have no idea where we are. No idea if there are any resources next to us. There are hills and very tall grass around us. There are the savanna and the plains, the forests and rivers. Oh, so many rivers. Where to settle then? If we know nothing of this area, then everywhere we settle is equally valid. Therefore, I choose to settle where the river is densest, where we can see that it gives us the best position. It is here, near the flood plains, where the earth delivers fresh water. So there we find our city. I shall call this city Ankh-Morpork. Oh yes, also as you can see, this by the way is our tribal guardian. That's a special unit, just basically stays inside your border range and is, well, let's call it one of the more important units you can have at the start, because it protects what is basically your central territory base. Without it, you'd have no one, and that would be rather shite. Don't really. So we have it. Our clubman is also protected. Let's see. I usually follow the same strategy, which has shown itself to work out more often than not, which is to go for virtual identity. The reasoning for also, by the way, as you can see, this is the tech tree. Let me show it to you in full. Yeah, that's a lot. Really, really, really a lot. So I'm going to press enter a lot of times also, because we're playing on snail's pace, which isn't the slowest actually you can play this on. It's one of the slower ones though. I think we have 8,000 turns ahead of us. We aren't going to play the full game. We are going to play an amount of it, however, that I can assure you. At least until the game becomes unplayably slow. Though I think that's still some ways off. We'll have to see once the timer changes. So, take a look. Yeah. And you might wonder why I'm actually getting the clubman to stay in the city and the thrower meanwhile to waltz around. Well, I do wish to have basically a first look of over the territory, but unfortunately our stone thrower is now going to die, as you just heard. It's been destroyed by a predatory rat fox. Dastardly creatures. They're so big! So big! Yeah. Also, as you can see, some special places are being discovered in the distance. Sugarloaf Mountain, Kilimanjaro. As per civil...
A nomad, I will remain for life, in love with distant and uncharted places.
Right, the important thing about this is that discovering such a natural wonder, basically just like Civilization 5, gives you a special bonus when you're the first one to find it, or gives you a bonus when you're having a worker work on it from the city. I know, you, go away. A new dawn. Right, I think it was the rise of mankind, new dawn. So basically, as you can see now, I don't have to do anything. I can just concentrate on you guys, and we can talk, anything to talk about. Or I can just stay here and watch a game autoplay until we have reached a point at which I can actually, you know, get back in there and take control. It's of course a cardinal sin. I thought about this at length previously already, and you can see this even better right now because we are playing at a very slow speed. But the base idea is this. When you have a game where a decision simply doesn't exist because there is none. Basically, when you have a game in which it doesn't matter what a player chooses to do because he has no choice available to him or her, then the turn itself, the time space is wasted and therefore pointless. Nothing you do or gain from it.
For man, autumn is a time of harvest, of gathering together. For nature, it is a time of sowing, of scattering abroad.
So one thing I always hate about this, when you go like this, when you basically when you auto research like this, I do hate it at times. It just basically ignores whatever you did before and just goes to the next one. And that's uncool, really. For now, however, I do want expansive, because we need to expand as soon as we can, which is quite a ways off actually. We aren't going to expand for a long time. Because to actually expand would mean that we'd be, well, be getting something like sedentary lifestyle, basically. Yeah, I'm not seeing us researching that for a long. What does this mean? Well, right now we are more like a wild tribe that's slowly but surely developing into a real society. Our people don't yet know that you can just stay in one place and therefore create a tribe, which is why we have to teach them. We are developing these skills after right now with the development of language. Also, I wonder, is the soundtrack currently Far From Heaven 2 because I chose it to be? Yeah, just see. Let's not think too much about that. Let's things in the box. Let's yeah. All right. Yeah, one other concept Caveman2Cosmos actually has is the fact that cities are incredibly revolt happy and constantly ill and starving and oversized and crime ridden.
Language is not only the vehicle of thought, it is a great and efficient instrument in thinking.
There's no direct evidence of a language spoken in vanilla. Some proponents of paleolinguistics attempt to extend the methods of historical linguistics to the Stone Age, but with so little academic support. It's a common problem actually. But the game at least allows us to create a native language. Your nation has its own unique. You might have noticed one option I've chosen at game start, which you can actually see turn up here right now. Because you see, our little civilization is a minor civilization. Now you might wonder, what does that mean? Actually, that's a very important thing, because it means that up until the discovery of the research technology literature, our civilization basically isn't one. It's more a wild tribe, a collection of wildermen that, inhabit this land, but not really a nation. And that means that we can't actually engage in diplomacy. So, should we meet anyone else, then, well, we're effed and they're effed. Because all we can do is fight with one another or not. Depends on how we actually react to each other, I suppose. Usually it means that, hey, you're on my land, no, you're on my land, let's fight, alright, bam, 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 bam. So like that. It's basically human history in a nutshell. Does work out pretty well. Usually the main problem is that because the human player is so far ahead of the AI, that it gets kinda hard to actually get any kind of competition. I'm not really that fast in the game though. The quickest I once got was on the medieval stage, and during my last game where I played the Hittites, I actually took until the late Renaissance to get dominance in my area. One of the other main problems the game has, of course, is that it does get kind of slow. Basically, at some point, too much happens in the game, and it slows down immensely. A volcano eruption in the surrounding area! Huh? Oh, it doesn't show us. Oh, up somewhere. I don't care for a volcano eruption up north, guys. If it were somewhere around here where I can actually get increased food, that would have been nice. God, this is a Megatarium, by the way. It's a giant sloth, in case you didn't know. So yeah, these are all primitive paleolithic animals, forms basically. The ones we nowadays know of or that exist are coming in later.
If your friend is already dead and being eaten by vultures, I think it's okay to feed some bits of your friend to one of the vultures to teach him to do some tricks, but only if you're serious about adopting the vulture.
Scavenging. People have now learned to scavenge. This allows us to work off deer, fur and elephant leftovers. Such. Okay, well, we do need anti-chance and of course communities. Ooh, we have poultry and bison near us. Bison even on our spot. Interesting. No, it's not. All earth flock. Well, this isn't. I think the plot logic is important for when you basically later on build superstructures and sci-fi technology stuff, because then it can exist on several layers basically, and well, anyway. Also, as long as animals exist, they will remain our enemy. Not because animals are enemies, but because the game just treats them like barbarians. I think I can really do anything about it. Thank you for giving me that list game, I really wanted to see it. We aren't in the top 8 anyway. Not this early in the game, and usually not for a long time. Yeah, this should be post-rock right now. I think we are listening, yeah, where post-rock dwells by Endless Dive. I remember for some of my later games I actually kind of skipped the first 200 turns. The game right now is an RSet about doing this to us because it doesn't let us. Usually you can just go and research and build and research and build and nobody gives a crap. But right now the game does give a crap because of all these animals which are enemies to us, and
never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception.
It's our ability to deceive. Oh yeah, cooperation. We need to learn to cooperate. Yes. Exile practice. And spawn a barbarian exile. Hard to track. It's interesting. Apparently they added some new stuff in the previous patch. I haven't played Caveman2Cosmos in, I think, about a year. So some of this, because this should be version 36, 37, 38, something about like that. Because so some things basically in here can be new to me as well. It's okay. We'll learn this together. Really? Oh no, we lost an entire turn of research. However will I survive this loss? Actually, during the early areas, we aren't really getting anything from research. We are getting more from hunting, which we can't do yet. We'll get to that in a minute. Life is important. What you actually are trying to do is defeat animal units. Oh, a volcano eruption. Is this close to us? No. It's still north. Why are we trying to capture animals? Well, a captured animal can create a special unique building, like a farm for an animal, like a herd basically. So therefore we can herd animals and get them to breed for our purposes, and then use them as cavalry basically, or livestock. And on the other hand, because they allow us to create stories, myths, and the strange things we read about. Fables, in a way. The early stories of mankind were about the creatures we perceived, we saw, and we lived with, that were all around us. And that is what these animals allow us to do. I don't think we're actually kind of thing. Yeah, but also this is so incredibly unlike. Come on, give me this one. A quick storage pit is kind of pointless because we're taking far too long to grow currently anyway. But a quick Monteverde would be a great achievement. Also, oh no, we can have a citizen, but I don't want to. Maybe I should delete the enemy units there, but no. Oh, and by the way, I was going on about the Megatherium. The Megatherium is a funny thing. It's a giant sloth. It's a sloth, you know, like the one. And it's, I think, about 8 feet tall and long. It's really, really big. And the museum I was visiting some time ago, let's say, because I can't remember how long ago it was, I saw a skeleton of one, and it was big, like really, really fucking big.
Every kind of peaceful cooperation among men is primarily based on mutual trust, and only secondarily on institutions such as courts of justice and police.
Resistance hunting! Can I increase this? My speech is already like this. Oh right, now I wondered why I'm sitting so uncomfortably, but the reasoning for that is easy. I'm currently sitting a little bit lower than I usually do. I'm back in a second. Much better for both my behind and your viewing pleasures. Well, so really, but I suppose that's beside the point, really. Avacon City will continue to become healthy and unhealthy at different intervals that I don't really care about. Because I can't change it. Can't do anything about it, really. Come on, give me the Monteverde. Why am I trying to get this natural one that basically so early? No, this is a big one, but well, Monteverde is one of the first ones that actually allows you to get stone tools, and secondly, it has an early production buff. As you might have learned from my previous playing of Civilization, or basically just about any of these strategy games which are based on the quasi-modernistic capitalist production model. He who can produce the most in the shortest amount of time wins. Always. And that is important because Civilization is such a game. And therefore, if I can outproduce my enemy, I can defeat him. But to do that, I need to early on build up my production capabilities. And I can only do that when I get them first. And that is why we are building right now Mont Verde, because it allows us to get our production capabilities higher earlier. I mean, it's quite possible that we actually won't get it. I had quite a few games where that happened. Well, what's possible is no guarantee. It's just a chance, and considering how long we still have ahead of us, I mean, we got the time, so why not? Because even if we don't make it, we get money. And isn't money grand? It isn't this game, because it allows us later on especially to basically finish building just about everything. Even World Wonders. Which is nice. So, next turn we'll finally be able to build hunters.
The secret to a successful hunt is this. Make sure your prey gives up before you do.
He's not wrong, you know. Chaser! Hammerfall Chaser, yeah, we don't have yet. Oh, the units got lost in the swamp. How? Anyway, the Chaser is basically the first unit you can actually get that is allowed quick movement and fighting against animals. It's not really worth it, truth be told, because it still has only strength 1, and the upgrades against animals you can get aren't worth getting them at this point. And you're much better off with, I think, strength 2 and strength 3 unit later on. And the strength 5 unit, a real hunter basically, which is a national unit limited to 5, is basically the best one you can get about just against any animal. Because by that point, you'll basically be swimming in animal corpses. But, you know, it's still some way. As you can see, by the way, the moose has multiplied, but no, can't get it away. Also, we have the possums to the south, ravens nearby. Bison, more ravens, some red foxes, more megatediums, a vulture, more opossums, a lizard, and a skunk. Are we in Louisiana? I mean, I can only guess it where the hell we are. This is a basically randomized starting position somewhere on Earth. A small Earth, but I've opted for the standard sized Earth map because while still being somewhat Earth-like, it's not too big and still allows for passable playing and recognizing area. I usually like playing on big maps, on really big maps, but with Caveman2Cosmos that's not really feasible, especially due to the number of calculations the game has to make, as well as the simple fact that at some point parts of the world basically get lost. And I mean, a big map looks great. I had a safe game about 2008 turns in where I played as the Persians on a really big map, and let me tell you, that game was awesome. It was also about 48 hours long. I think at the point at which I stopped playing, I waited about 4.5 minutes for a single turn. So you can, I think you can calculate for yourself how long I sat sometimes. What's this? Oh, it's Neanderthal brutes! It's barbarians! Basically. Actually, that's not really that good. I don't know if I made the Neanderthals more aggressive. Neanderthals in earlier editions with their strength 3 early on were humongously bad news for any scout, explorer or hunter, because basically your scout would come on and then, oh, what is this? Are you a human? Because the Neanderthals kill without distinction. They see you, they kill you. I have many bad memories about Neanderthals. Though luckily not from personal experience, because that would be silly or anything. We are making good headway into Montverde, however. The other thing Montverde actually does is allow us to acquire money early on. And that's useful. Oh! Oh! Our cultural borders increased and allowed us a little better look into the outside world. There's some cold territory here. We have Savannah and cold... we could be in a small Africa or North America. I mean, it could be Siberia for all I know. If to the left side is something like, you know, modern day Chile, then it could be South America as well. Ooh, more animals turn up. I think that's a deer. Oh, what is... Viper and barred owl. A black bear. A raccoon. A wolf. All lizards. So yeah, as you can see, this is a vibrant area. Huge amounts of animals. Food stuff lives around here. And I don't think we'll have to worry about surviving.
One who walks in another's tracks leaves no footprints.
What? I shall be telling this with a sigh. Some were ages and ages hence. The roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one that's travelled by. That has made all the difference. We have now learned to create scouts and trackers. Trackers are the first good unit, basically. In theory, we could later on get the master tracker, but, well, yeah, not really. Usually you don't really get master trackers of it. Can however, and I will however, get the oral tradition. He said oral. Right now I want a tracker because it might allow me to actually get a Raven up. I don't think the Mega Terror... Most animals don't really attack a unit unless they are guaranteed to win. And we have the luck of the fact that this is very defensible territory, unfortunately for our enemies as well, because animals use territory to their advantage. I don't even mean this sarcastically, they actually do. And on the other hand, because it allows us to clean up some of these. Right, let me... Oh, interesting. Quick tracker, build with more food. Because of the early stage game, we are still building conscription based basically. It means that all units we build are built on the base that you have more food, all the food production of the city goes to producing the unit as well. That's kinda cool really, and very, very useful. It's however also very differently in how to use it. Because it means that you have to decide whether producing a unit is worth it. Now, unfortunately, against the human you'd ask that question, against the AI, not so. Again, I do hope, having chosen Monarch as our difficulty curve, that we do have quite an uphill battle ahead of us. After all, that's all I can do really. That's all anyone can do. Where would we be without? Any more turns? Now, best case scenario, we'd actually be able to choose the hunting ability first for our hunter, or a tracker basically, and second, we'd actually capture the first animal. That would be. But if I remember correctly, that's actually 2% chance at the start, so. Well, let's just say it's I think that says it all. Really, really. Oh yeah. Promotion available. And we subdued the crowd! But we have destroyed it. No, what? Oh! Subdued crowd! Wait. Right, we continue building Montvert. Falls now again with red white. 39 turrets is nice. Of course, only as long as we actually get to be able to work better. Now I tend to forget these things immediately, but did I activate a ruthless animal option? Yes, that is an important ability. Hunter 1, plus 25% versus animals and plus 5% chance to subdue one. If you want to get any ability, get that one. It increases your chances in fighting animals and getting them to do what you want immensely. Like, wow, you wouldn't believe how much. Kill the bison, okay. Of course, now that means we are going to heal up for now. Everything else is madness. So we could now slaughter it, or we could keep it for its story effect. Keep it. We don't have an oral tradition or anything like that yet, so can't really do anything with it. But we will once we get, I think, oral tradition. Oh, we won against an animal just by chance. Ooh, we killed a Neanderthal brute. Nice job, guys. Nice-oo. And a free Combat 1 promotion. Awesome. Now, as I said before, Neanderthals are brutal. They basically are the early bandits and barbarians of the Caveman2Cosmos. They track down and they destroy your units relentlessly. I can't count how many units I lost to barbarian Neanderthals. Which is quite good considering that it's only been 8,000 years since our civilization has established itself.
Here, we tell the story. Why the people came here. What they did when they got here. Going back to the Native Americans. And coming all the way forward.
Oral tradition! I think I have to take these ritualism. Right, since I do want to get to cultural identity, I need ritualism and yeah, prehistoric music and dance. Since I also need toolmaking. So well, toolmaking. Yeah. Because I can't. Oh right, I need trapping, and for trapping I need basketry, basketry I need weaving. Let's go with. Yeah, okay, let's go with weaving. Alright, we are in anarchy. Yes, don't you see, King? Our people are revolting right now. They have decided they are no longer going to take the yoke that you have placed upon them. You tyrant! Considering that the very concept of tyranny hasn't even been created yet. This must be one of the strangest times. In theory, this is long after the Hyborian age that Conan described. Long after Pangaea has, dissolved. And still, this must have been a fascinating age. When nothing was understood and all you did was live in, live day out. Must have been brutal, of course. People were sick as hell, were forced to live out their lives in caves and early style huts. Died early, died young most likely. Still, wow. I mean, can you imagine? Now I'm wounded, he's gonna die. Okay. Yikes. 186. Yeah, he's close to actually filling up. Not really sure though which. Maybe the possum? Though having a bison would be great. Okay, that was nice, but again. In the meantime, go. Yes, myth of the scavenger. Now, different myths and different stories basically allow us different abilities or different positive side effects. The myth of the scavenger. The myth of the scavenger is interesting. Build a vulture. Currently we I want Montverde, so you are going to continue killing Montverde. It's strange that I can even select it, because usually animals are enemies and therefore shouldn't allow me to actually work on the tile, but apparently the game allows me to do so, for whatever reason. So, okay, I'm gonna do that game. Thank you. The other thing I forgot to mention is that Montverde doesn't only increase our income. The other thing is that in Civilization 4, money or produced financial goods is research power. That's important, therefore you want to create or get as much research power as you can. Oh, there he is. The Raven. Go back home. Let's attack from our home, basically. I find it far too dangerous to stand there when the Neanderthal brute can just go and kill us.
Man does not weave this web of life. He is merely a strand of it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself.
Aww. Operatic. That is not Simpson was animal. We've killed a duck. We are mighty duck killers. Wrong. Both caves running from. This is the interesting part, or even one of the most interesting. At the beginning of a game, every unit counts. Every decision you make is important. Every step of the way is important and changes the outcome. Music's nice. Oh sweet, we destroyed a Megatherium. Nice. I mean, I would prefer if we'd actually be able to subdue one, because those are great. But hey, I'm not going to complain. Also, as you can see, 12 food and 6 units of production. Of course, it means that we'll die to the next one. but we are at our home turf, so basically heal fast anyway. Just need to wait until the bastards arrive. Well, and the 5 turns with sending them really kind of suicidal. Ooh! No, still vegetarian. For a second there I thought that we might have big apes. And giant man apes is also very fun. Trajan, the great general Trajan has been born. 12 more turns, we are getting close. I want to see what we have actually done. I think I've ever seen. Just some building preparations. Later on, when we are able to found new cities, these can become quite taxing. It's also one of the reasons why I selected one of the smaller map types, because I don't want to deal with actually 50 cities there, which can be taxing all on its own. But for now this is fine. We have our capital, and that's all we have and all we need. Yes! Subdued!
One just principle from the depths of a cave is more powerful than an army.
First stone dwellings. And they've actually just recently been built. Yeah, Master Hunter! Now this is an important ability. I'd really like to get the paleolithic ground slot, but we can actually get this early on later. And right now getting Master Hunter is so incredibly important. Because it early on already allows us to get good hunting units quickly up, basically. Therefore hunt more, therefore get more units, more bonuses, and develop further and faster. Which, as strange as it may sound, is so incredibly. Right, basketry next, and trapping and shelter building. After that we go for and hard hammer passions. Because getting better hunters increases our speed and everything else. Six more turns, I think we are actually getting this wonder. Be nice. No, I'm going to. Oh, I wonder, can I actually change the color? Sometimes this works and it leads to hilarious effects actually. And red gold. successful. I'm going to make a quick save in a second, because more often than not it can be quite important to have one available. Okay, now have them rearrange and calculate bonuses. Closeness at war, the green man, the green man, the green man, barbarian. Okay. You should now have recalculated all necessary abilities for the game, because I changed the difficulty, as you just saw, from Emperor to... no, from Monarch to Emperor. It should take gold for you. Okay. Kill the raccoon. What a mighty hunter it was. Look, Dad, I killed the raccoon! Oh, I shouldn't actually, you know, fuck this in any kind of way, because raccoons can be bitchy to fight. Like, yeah, totally. So, I suppose that's totally fine. Oh, we got... this over first. Damn it. Killed the possum, got nothing out of it. Except food, of course. I think you always get at least one food from... not entirely sure though. Well, here's to you boys. I'm going to go for a second and make some new. I'll see you in a bit. Right, and we are back. And we got more birds. Nice. And we subdued a badger. A badger! Let's get the myth of the badger. Okay, I want... Oh god, yes, please heal. We subdued another megatarium. Nice! Giant sloth, here we come! Wait. So, surely but slowly we are cleaning up our territory. And usually this is how it starts. Yeah, myth of a paleolithic ground sloth. Who knows, maybe we'll have one around later on which allows us to actually, I don't know, ride them as war animals. I don't think they're actually that good for that function, but don't say it hasn't been tried. I mean,
The way to become rich is to put all your eggs in one basket, and then watch that basket.
that sounds weird, because the basket doesn't suddenly change from being a basket. Shelter building! Subdue the bison! Nice. Meadow crab's rock shelter. We could now go beeline for all of these. I don't. That's not for now. But the bison's nice. Bison's definitely. Oh, I see the Neanderthal broods there. I know exactly what they're up to. I see. Oh, we're actually the largest civilization. That's actually weird. Oh, we can already build a herd of bison. And our tribal guardian has... What is it? So plus strength is usually what I take for him. I bet it would take longer. Weird. The fall wanderer has never. Don't worry, I'll try not to beef too. Oh, okay. Kinda dangerous. I think I can actually just press the space bar. It's a 4 or was it a 3 that did? I think it's a 4. Okay, you're all healed up. Kit Carson, American trailblazer and Indian fighter. Carson left home in rural present-day Missouri and became a mountain man and trapper in the West. Carson explored the West to Spanish California and north to the mountains. He's a great hunter. He's the first of his kind for our civilization. And he now allows us to create a space improvement, or join the city as a great hunter. Or we can make him a master tracker. Which, amusingly, would actually be a very strong thing to have this early. I mean, other than that, he's just right now a great person, basically. Plus 2 experience to explorer type units? Yeah, well, but... Ah, that's interesting. I don't know. Are hunters actually explorer type units? Interesting, I thought hunters were on their own path of upgrading, basically. Unit categories. A B C D E E E Explorer Explorer. No, actually Hunter. Interesting. General future loan bonus for everyone, or super strong great master tracker unit that we can. This is actually difficult. Oi, oi. Ah, sorry. Overview down here basically played havoc. What the hell? Bitch? Right, now let's see. Hunting gives us no new hunting unit actually. Trapping doesn't either. Okay. So is he actually for the longest time the only unit of its kind that we... Apparently. Yeah, some very interesting technologies are coming up later on, but hey, oh, we'd get behind it earlier. Show me tracking for a second there. I just right clicked so that can take a second. I mean, specifically in Caveman2Cosmos. Fine. Out tracker, master tracker. Master tracker. Texture master. Get master into hunting. Oh yeah, but at the end of is this era. But his bonus is wild. Oh yeah, that's oh god, that's so late. So getting him now would actually be faster. Yeah, trapping isn't really worth it, I think. Let's go on with shelter building. I have a feeling that might be a good decision. I have a feeling that might be a good, strong decision for our empire. Which is funny. I mean the fact that we're being called empire. We aren't even close to being like an empire. You know, for a moment there I'd think that, that's a long amount or a huge amount of volcano explosions, but then again, it's been almost 10,000 years, so yeah, not that many. Okay, give me this thing. A Glyptodon. The hell's a Glyptodon? You know, Wikipedia to the rescue. What is Glyptodon, rookie? Glyptodon. Press one. The hell? A large armored mammal? Kinda like the armadillo, but bigger? Hey, that looks weird. The paleolithic Glyptodon. Sweet, yeah, give me that. Okay, that's a very bizarre looking animal. Subdue the raven. Now we can play Game of Thrones. The Glyptodon, from grooved or carved, sculpt. What a weird thing.
A home is not a mere transient shelter. Its essence lies in the personalities of the people who live in it.
There's much truth in that. Death of the Raven. 4 animal abilities. Give me moose. Subdued. So Prehistoric music nowadays as well. Now I have to be careful not to overdo it. It's quite easy actually to get a master hunt or something. Basically go ape wild. Let's just go. Your herd is always funny because basically everything that increases with it. Subdue the moose! Moose! How can I get a Glyptodon and domesticate it? I mean, having an armored shell animal that our knights later on can ride upon, that would be great. Oh no! Really need you guys. Oh yeah, wait for the sky there. So that with the moose, that allows us move with the moose. Let me get it up. Damn it! Lucky enough for us, there's still no. But with strength that's hugely armored, that's kind of nice. Okay, where are they? Awesome. Oh, they're right next. Hey. Damn it, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Don't kill my hunter. I heard a victory sound, please. Yes. Losing a great hunter to a barbarian unit can be one of the most devastating moments in game. So yeah, I'm quite happy I haven't lost it. Subdue me, possum! Our gods require more possums. Ooh, the myth of the red fox. Wait. As you can see, our research ability increases manifold because of all the rich tapestries, the myths and stories our people create. I like that idea actually. A very interesting view of how this myth creation comes to be shaped. Oh, come on, really? Okay, now I can build exiles. What is an exile? Oh, actually that's quite a useful thing. I mean, that's basically a free explorer, so yeah, sure. I'll take that. God damn it, kid, you are so good. a pheasant. If of a if of a skunk. Good job, guys, but please stay away. Yes, the brown bear's been subdued. Yeah, brown bears are cool. I mean, some people like sharktopus. I like beartopus. The myth of the brown bear. Ooh, this is the myth of Pepper, a snake charmer. Yeah, but you'll need to heal up first. Historic dance snake. Oh, and Morpork is already big enough that it's soon going to grow. I have a feeling that we are somewhere in Brazil, maybe. Of course, that begs the question, which other civilizations are close to us? There's quite a big number of possibilities. Also, there are far too many Neanderthals, if you ask me. Look it up. Subdue! A myth of the lizard. Tribal Guardian increases his ability to fight again. Scout has subdued a loon. Really? He fought the mighty, the dangerous, the greatest balloon. Oh boy. Yeah, perfect. We are making good headway, I suppose. Could have had a worse start. Actually, I have a feeling like the start might be either too good or that our start might not be as good as I thought initially. Might be just as because these River Caves have been built. The first other or enemy wonder, basically. Oh, the myth of the Lou and the Calyptodon. Right. Another Neanderthal brute. I have a feeling that someone's sending these guys to us, otherwise I don't really understand why they're coming to us. Maybe we are some kind of rite of passage to these people? Who or whatever they are?
Life It isn't about how to survive this day, but how to dance in the rain.
I'm not entirely sure, but I don't really care. Give me the myth of a deer for now. Let's subdue the bear. A deer! A deer! Dear, oh dear! I apologize, that was a bad joke. Kill the black bear. Interesting. It's 39,000 BC, but our city is already growing to size 2. I think that means 100 inhabitants or something like that. Subdue the black bear is nice. How many people are living with us, right? 100 actually. Wow. I mean, it does feel like a lot for the age this is happening in. Might not even be. Don't know. I'm still quite tempted by this. What the harems? Earth hard check. Do I have any new social policy I can actually institute right now? Social policy! I don't think we'll actually call a lot like that at this age. No, 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 no. Basically, no. Okay. Myth of the black bear. Bear. Myth of a bear. It's a bear, not a bear. Bear, 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 bear. Right. That another loon? I think it's a loon. The bard, oh. Myth of the Weasel. Damn it, you shouldn't kill the vulture. Or the second vulture? Basically, don't try to kill the vulture, dude. Yeah, I don't want to kill a carrion, sorry. But the basket weaver's hut is nice as a storyteller. Dance hut, the music hut, and the percussion instrument hut. Yeah, this is the part where it actually gets weird. Don't ask me. Oh, hey Bob Bundy! How are you? So... doing more animals. Oh. I wonder at times, maybe this is some sort of weird interdimensional thing for a civilization, but right now, kid.
Ritual will always mean throwing away something, destroying our corn or wine upon the altar of our gods.
Why is this technology important? Well, for one, because it allows us to build a Mungo Man? The hell? A Priest King? Or the Tisha Tam? These are hero units. What does this mean? Caveman2Cosmos does a very interesting thing. It introduces hero units, basically following the great man of history theory that civilization partially does follow, which means that you have great persons which led humanity to the point it is right now. You can get these, you can build them as units in your game, give them special abilities and use them for special actions. These guys are apparently some of them. I didn't know that the Aborigines had a Mungo man, but well, here we are. Though the Indus civilization having a generic priest king sounds very strange. I mean, also why is this an Indus thing? Yeah, this requires the Indus. But it allows us to build a monument or an obelisk, a bathing ritual, which has a very nice picture, and introduce the walkabout. Culture Papuan, Azande, Kusha, Jin and Tang, and allows us to institute folklore basically. What does that mean? It's a religious technology. It's a religious civic basically. It's about which religion we'll adopt later on in the game to spread. And I can already hope we are going to spread the technology. I have one in mind, which I usually have as my preferred go-to, but that doesn't mean that it's the only one I can take. You see, I usually do like to go a sentry. Yes. Should be an auto-explore button. There it is. No, sentry. Right. Oh, there it is. Now our exile is of course exploring because that's what he does. Okay. Cultural. But folklore as a civic basically allows us to change the religion we can take, and I have a religion I think I want to take. Because in game terms, each religion has a different focus and gives you different advantages. Most simply give you cultural advantages for special buildings or special units. Or like the ancient religions, which give you very, very strange advantages. But the one I do prefer at times is Confucianism. Confucianism? The one made up by Confucius. Confucius? Well, in any case, that Eastern one. Because it has the highest research bonuses. As I said earlier, he who produces the most, even in research, can outweigh many disadvantages over his enemies. Against, good technology outweighs many problems. Ah yes, the dastardly pheasant roams our lands and threatens our settlers. Of course. So weird. I don't think I've ever in my life heard of a small tribe of friendly locals have granted sanctuary to our beleaguered Kitlar Carson. How sweet. Thank you guys. Subdued Red Fox. Okay. Right, now kid, I want you to basically devastate all of his animals. Because we need space expand? No, we need more animal carcasses? No. I don't think that's a good way to save it. Like, at all. Like, dude, we need more food, and animals are food. Go get more food. Yeah. Then there's no good way. Alright, let's not forget we have a maximum number of animals and units on a tile, so I think we should actually go about let's slaughter them. For research! Yes. Their tale is now part of our cultural heritage, painted to the walls of our little caves. Maybe we should call our country Dearistan. Only fit. Oh sweet, we get a new positive aspect. I like industrious. Can also be philosophical, aggressive, irritable, also very nice. Nice. Creative. Financial. Money. Charismatic. Piano. Detective. I think I usually take this. Realistic might be useful because it goes well with our expansionist policy. Yeah, well, scientific is one I like to take later on. Other one. Usually the best ones are the ones that allow you to go. Alright. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. As an additional result of expanding national culture, your leader's personality has deepened in a negative manner as well. Select a new negative trait to add to your leader's profile, or select a positive trait for removal. Nope. No. Possible. Ooh. Idealistic might be useful. I mean, there are after all worse. Foreign is interesting. You are a foreigner, therefore you are bad. That temperamental. No. Too much bad stuff happens. Let's not go for that. Foreign also no, because of a minus in search rate. I think we're going with isolationist. Seems like the easiest one at this point. Now let's go with idealistic. We are very idealistic. The hell? Please heal up right now? And we got another Glyptodon. So my little pre-armadillo. For science! Let's see here. There's a Neanderthal nearby, so I want him to heal up. Other than that, our civilization's well on its way to develop up. We are the headhunters of wherever this place is. That's strange, I still haven't found any sort of sea. I mean, I have found some small ponds, but basically nothing that's the ocean. Deadly Viper. One of these before. Yeah, let's create the myth of the Viper. Of course, you could now ask, wait, but how did he find a car? Ow! Sorry, I deserved that. That was really, really bad. I think animals do start to despawn once Most of the territory has been taken by civilized countries, but that's neither here nor there.
A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people.
Ah yes, thus we come to the Elder Council. I think you might already see why I think this building is important. Plus 25% researchability for a city it's built in is a humongously big boat, therefore incredibly important. The military standard for the Grizzly is nice, but if Grizzly Bear yet. Oh, a tribal village here. Do not wish to sacrifice my feather. We'll make it. Okay. This has highest priority. I mean, it's plus 12 research points per turn right now, basically just boom. And yeah, sure, I'm going to get that. I don't like the fact that no, someone, no, who has died? Don't be kid, no. No! Damn you, Neanderthals! He had so much life ahead of him. I mean, he was what? 2,000 years old. You bastards! How could you? Also, shite! It cost us actually a lot of progress. We've built up that unit for quite some time, and losing it is, well, it is one of the blows the game likes to deal you. Basically, expected. I have to admit, I do, or basically I was kind of quick about it, but no, damn it, that was a mistake. I'm going to lose him unless I. Now we can't move outside. Damn it. Oh, Basil the First, 830 to 886, was a Byzantine emperor who reigned from 867 to 886. Basil died on August 29, 886, from a fever contracted after a serious hunting accident when his belt was caught in the antlers of a deer and he was allegedly dragged 16 miles to the woods. That sounds painful.
Man is a tool-using animal. Nowhere do you find him without tools. Without tools he is nothing. With tools he is all.
Sweet. Yeah, no, I think for now we go to probably generic hunting. This was a lesson I have to learn apparently every game again. So, yeah, sure. Oh. Also, what the hell, dude? Please go here. Oh, don't tell me you can't. No. Please don't tell me that exiles can only walk into visible territory. That would be. Dial. Oh, no, they can't. Oh, exiles can't enter terrain with they can't enter terrain with animals, and at this age and stage of the game, of course, there's animals everywhere. What a waste of 6 turns. Come to think of it, I still don't know how many turns we've got left. But supposedly the number is over 2000, so you don't really have to care too much. Can you already? Yes, okay. Georgy Zhukov has been born in a faraway land. Created as a great general, not a great hunter. Great general is usually when you have a military confrontation or enough people have been killed by army troops. Usually you don't use your army to hunt them because of the bad promotion, basically. But maybe the AI is taught differently. Would be kinda interesting. Turns after this one. Yes. Soon our Elder Council will be complete. I think I'll have to sacrifice some animals right now. Oh no, we are already, damn it. Should have got there. We can get an animal mask. I'm going to use the deer because it's the only option they actually have left. Animal mascot! Deer. Buildings we can later on build. Stone's the one we get directly.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
It was incredibly creepy. But yeah, our people have now learned to create stone tools. 37,000 people. Workers hut, rock gatherer. Maybe there's food. Oh yeah, let's. It's interesting. Our people haven't yet learned how to create, I don't know, fire for example. But we already know how to. There's a lot of resources, but. Oh, this is rabbit, this is rabbit, this is rabbit, and. Got marble, but no base stone? Well, we have obsidian, of course. There should be some obsidian near here and here. There have been several. Damn it. Several volcanic outbreaks, basically. Which, of course, we didn't see. But if I remember correctly, that usually creates a source of obsidian. I mean, obsidian's nice. It allows us a very early form of special units, which we can then later on. Oh no, I want to go. Okay, get me rock gatherer right now. Afterwards, I want. Let's. Yeah, the bathing ritual. Breathes cleanly. Among other things. Right. And as you can see by the way, we've now gone from 49 to 60 research points per turn. That's actually quite the jump. It's interesting to know because we'll have quite a drop down once we've reached literature. The first point at which our research output will falter and then rise up even higher because of the introduction of literacy and libraries. But that's still some ways off, so we are quite lucky in that regard. Have a badger for science!
When you smoke the herb, it reveals you to yourself.
Thank you, Bob Marley. I would never I definitely wouldn't have had that thought. Nope. Lichen Gabbra. Sure. Give me Lichen Gabbra. Oh, yeah. Things by which has just been into. Don't worry about it. Tobacco! Okay, and now I'm convinced this must be Brazil. But there's no makes no sense. There's no jungle. Are we in the North American South? So basically, was it Virginia? But no. And I don't remember the South having big areas of this looks like snow, and these are giant mountains. John Comnenos and Poe Dagar have been born. Oh yeah, the myth of the raccoon. Okay, what? Interesting. Cool. Those bananas?
If you ever catch on fire, try to avoid seeing yourself in the mirror, because I bet that's what really throws you into a panic.
This has been your Jack Handy story for the day. Some of these boats can be quite weak. Perhaps the best word for it. Okay. Collecting stones. Caribou? Okay. I think we're actually going to reach the year 0 before we advance into the Renaissance. I'm not entirely sure about it. Or we aren't even on the list. This is a good sign. It could also, however, mean that we are very, very, very low on the list later on. So, in a way, it could also be a bad sign. But I take good over bad for now. Having strong AI opponents later on just makes the game more interesting. Interesting. If you consider what we are currently learning, then we are making advances in technology at our fast in this game. We've recently...
So long as you have food in your mouth, you have solved all questions for the time being.
We've now learned to cook food. I mean, imagine what we already learned. Learned to keep fire, how to work rock, to hunt for. And now you can cook stuff. Like, wow. You can cook stuff. Amazing. I mean, not for us, of course, but for them. I like that more and more Neanderthals are coming into our territory. action every turn. Simply said, I don't like it. Neandertalos delendam est. Okay, the storyteller set is finished. I'm also finding it quite weird that we so far haven't found another civilization, but we are getting quite a few numbers, quite a few messages basically about their great generals and their great hunters. Wonder, you know, if of a caribou. People tell stories about just about any animal. Basically, see animal, tell story. I wonder what kind of stories they tell. Is the caribou sly, or is it dumb? What about the raccoon? Is it a little thief, a rogue, a trickster?
When elephant steps on a trap, no more trap.
Or is it the opposite? Wonder. Oh, we could now learn theft. I don't really wanna. Pet trap? No, pit trap. We really need more trackers.
If you chase two rabbits, you will lose them both.
Classic. For a time I really loved the cool spoiler at Nimoy. Those are the really great ones. Cheng Jun Tore, Kim Un Kamui, and Kom Vo. Great heroes. Aka, Inu, Aka, Hamud. Soft time of passion. Yes, for numbers now. Yes, we can now build camps. Deer hunter camp. Oh, interesting. We can still use the paleolithic animals as a worker. Oh yes, a worker and a base. $70 more turns. 72 more turns until our cultural radius. I said, slowly but steadily, we are going forward. It's interesting in seeing how they actually toned down the aggressiveness of many of the animals. You see, earlier renditions of Caveman2Cosmos had much more aggressive animal units because they are basically based on the fraction idea. They are bandits or barbarian units, so they attack just about everything. But either they toned it down, or the one single option I did, which was supposed to just go for barbarians and animals don't attack each other, might have effects beyond. It might be both actually. Both might interact with each other. Might be neither of these. We'll find out.
The finest workers in stone are not copper or steel tools, but the gentle touches of air and water working at their leisure with a liberal allowance of time.
Instinct. Almost over everyone. A number of technologies can often be quite useful. Oh, actually, last leaf down, bright white colder, just ended. Oh, the next one might be a more technical. Sure. Infinity. Oh, kill the bison hunter. Stuff.
The rolling stone never gathers moss.
Well, can roll in the air, but yeah, sure. Most likely it's... Our tracker still survive. What are you guys doing? Oh, that's why. Still something really that big of it. I think I might have to go for the next one actually. Let's see. Oh, there's a classical Neanderthal warrior. Oh, I see. For a moment, wondering, like, the hell am I seeing? Sure.
The greatest masterpieces were once only pigments on a palette.
Clay pits. If we can actually get an early culture build, that would be quite the advance. So sure, go for it. Right. Didn't have the myth of a bison so far, so get it.
The venerable woods, rivers that move in majesty, and the complaining brooks that make the meadows green, and poured round all, old ocean's grey and melancholy waste, are but the solemn decorations all of the great tomb of man.
Okay. Question though is, does this mean that any show? Any at all? Nope. But found a clay pit. Wait, do we have clay? See? Clay. Oh, but we do have copper, but no bronze, no tin. And some peyote. Pumpkins. So, psychedelics? Yes. Thus we shall be a very liberal society. Oh, do the duck. Let's create the myth of a duck for our people. Let them burn! For the first time in about 15,000 years, we are actually exploring areas around our. Who knows, maybe we'll find the ocean. Maybe we'll lose our most valuable unit. Both are totally valid, if somewhat unfortunate options. Still have no clue where the hell we are. Okay. Oh, don't tell me, are these the Appalachians? Are we in North America? That would make this the Great Lakes area. This is the path towards the middle of the states, and therefore these would be borders towards California and the other areas. To I mean, the opposite of it is also possible. This might be Vladivostok, actually. Siberia is quite hilly, quite mountainous, and also very, very warm in summer.
Let your sharp arrows pierce the hearts of the king's enemies. Let the nations fall beneath your feet.
I wonder, do nations make a kerplunk sound when they fall? They do the grizzly, okay? Nice. Concentrate on production, please. I mean, if we are in the States, then this might just be the area, well, based on the engine civilization, basically. This might be New York and Manhattan. It's of course not really the greatest randomization when telling the game to give you completely random starting points just puts you instead of Central or South America into North America. Starting in Africa will see. Just I'm wondering because I have no idea how many other civilizations there will be, because there will be a big part of the world we don't actually have contact or access to. And for the longest time, depending, of course, as based on how many civilizations are. So we'll see, I suppose. But yeah, these are definitely. This is the States. So this is Florida, basically. The Central Northern America. I could win, but I wouldn't. I'd so want that goody hut.
Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe.
Holy go! Great horned owl. spray paint. Ooh, a lynx. Myth lynx or spotted? Let's go with myth lynx. I don't know how long until we get new lynx, but bit of a spotted cat is something we can get quite easy. So, building our next world wonder, I suppose.
Los presentes sanos y salvos. ¿Qué necesita usted? Dígame qué hay que hacer. ¿Listo para acción? ¿Sus órdenes? A sus órdenes.
The preparation of animal hides by traditional populations in Ethiopia, Alaska, and Canada today show that it can take 8 hours to scrape a single hide.
Okay. I mean, I have to take both because we need conduct letter. So, oh, our clubman can be upgraded, and we have just enough money for it. Now control the most powerful unit on the planet, the Spiked Clubman. Yes, our clubs now have spikes in them. What a dastardly development! Well, more. Right now we are listening to Lakeshore Records Mega Drive Seas of Infinity. It's a number of musical selection from the tube. I think it's quite 80s inspired. I just thought that for a time at least to listen to something else than A, standard Civilization sounds, or B, more far from having two soundtracks, because those are what otherwise would play in the background. Village has provided you with a stone spearman. What? Hi. Thank you. Okay. Cool. Yep. Strength 4? Oh yeah. Be powerful now. So. Also, this is not Spike Club. This is the Spike Club. I really should start to to actually go out and not constructing in my territory, but with all these animals around, I don't really have that security that the area isn't going to be devastated. Oh, frack me. This can be actually quite dangerous. First. Now, why am I saying this might be quite dangerous? Because if it's too many enemies or too strong and type of enemies, they might just overrun us. So sooner or later I'll have to actually check my military. Don't really have found any opposition yet. I don't know.
Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games.
Ombo's Cave. Our sudden drowsing spell. It. I wonder mostly though, despite everything else, why he's taking so long for most of his turns. There shouldn't be enough units in the game world yet that he could really pick this up. And therefore most of his turns should actually go over very quickly, which they aren't. I mean, on the one hand of course it's fascinating to watch, but on the other hand, we should have blown past these early 200 or 300 turns. Shell. First, second now. Great.
The first theft marked Buck as fit to survive in the hostile Northland environment. It marked his adaptability, his capacity to adjust himself to changing conditions, the lack of which would have meant swift and terrible death. It marked further the decay, or going to pieces of his moral nature, a vain thing and a handicap in the ruthless struggle for existence.
Oh, Jack London. All of the Wild. See? Good now if we'd have a bandit's hideout, build thieves. Very important step, unfortunately, to developing as a nation. Idea of thievery. We subdued a toucan. Good job, guys. Yeah, okay. 5 turns from the next cultural level. Should give us some good territory. Best case scenario, we get some obsidian. Unfortunately, it's not within city limits, but can't have everything. Toucan! Yes, myth of a toucan. Another stone spearman? I mean, I'm not going to say no, but okay. The hell? Sometimes the AI, especially the powers the AI uses, can be weirdly charming in their obscurity. Might be the word, I suppose. Because it's so nonsense. Ah, we do not want to attack the Viper. Just go, you fools. But like they can, you know, in-game mechanically actually hurt you. Right, we continue our exploration of the southern area. Find anteaters, the cars, bears, tapirs, a number of animals. Also, I think we just found Mexico and Central America. And we just subdued the macaw. Okay.
Capital conduct is as fundamentally wrong as a cure for crime as charity is wrong as a cure for poverty.
I'm not going to touch that statement with a 10-foot pulley. Whatever you say, Mr. Ford, whatever you say. We've just discovered the first other empire, the Koreans in the south. I suppose they're most likely somewhere here in Central or somewhere in South America. So, already it's quite clear we are sharing this continent basically with at least one other people. As you can see, they are at war with us and we can't start any kind of diplomacy with them because, well, both of us are tribes basically. You know, entities that just don't come any sort of real diplomacy. It's a good thing though that our points are much higher because more developed than they are. I mean, they do hate us, so important anyway. We are, however, the fourth cultured civilization. Also, oh frick you! Yeah, we lost that one. Damn. This. That hurts. Oh, actually that's quite stupid. What I do instead need is more trackers. Can I slaughter them for fun and profit? Nope, not. the hell did they survive to get that? We killed the pigeon.
There are more ways of skinning a cat than rubbing its fur the wrong way.
Don't think I won. Ooh, travels. I think they discovered something the same turn as we did. Usually a sign that the AI is getting a... Damn it. Minus 20. Oh, come. Apparently our trackers have found peyote. Peyote? Drugs. They found drugs. I think we might have survived. Yes, yes, they have. Oh, we found the Barrier Crater. The Barrier Crater is a huge meteorite crater located in Arizona, the United States of America. The crater is 4,000 feet in diameter, and scientists believe that it was created some 50,000 years ago when the site was hit by a large nickel-iron meteorite weighing, at time of impact, 160,000 tons and moving at perhaps 27,000 miles per hour. Ooh! We have our very own personal special wonder that you'll wander close to us. We also received gold because we are the first to find that thing. We like. Go kill the... Oh, we got a vulture out of it, nice. Didn't have a vulture so far, so getting a free vulture out of it is always cool. Go today and get your very own free vulture! That's a bad joke if you ever want to make one. Hey, you need a vulture? I got one. Yeah, I got one on my bag as well. What? Where? Well, it's called the bank, you fool. Oh, okay. It's a possum. Oh, a vulture. Yeah, off the vulture.
The past is prophetic, in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows.
Who? I think after this one we'll have to take another look at the research table. I need to determine our current direction. I think right now, best case scenario, we go for fastest path to sedentary life. Can be useful if we get it early enough. We don't. Well, that's not too good. Kill the black bear. Sophistication 1. Go. 7. Okay, that's... Okay, we should soon have fulfilled the quota for the number of trackers we can actually keep in the... And it should enable us to keep up with the increased amount of animals around us. Another volcano! Still won't show me where. Oop, won't come in. I wonder, how do our people communicate that fact? Hear that? Yes. What was that? It was loud boom! Loud boom in sky! You think it might be volcano boom? No, sound more like boom! Boom! Okay.
If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail.
See, Microlith might be very useful because it enables us to build more military units quite early on. Poison crafting gives us the ability to harness some very interesting cultures. Oh, it's necessary for adhesives anyway, so we'll take it. Other than that, Microlith Workshop. So flint napping as well. Also very interesting. But I need general ability to protection. Yeah, I suppose we'll go poison crafting. With 3 turns ahead of us, that's quite fast enough. Right, you're healed up now. Subdue the bison. Well, doesn't it all go swelling? Oh, well, you're swelling. I suppose I should be afraid of whatever happens here right now. Anyway, yeah, it goes as it goes. Everything works out fine. For the moment. How can I? Maybe if I don't stand front. Oh yeah. No. Okay. That not help. Might just have heard this very, very tiny sound in the background. Death scream. Going to Venus might be nice. I think that having another, well, it's always useful to get another wonder, especially with road we currently have. You might wonder, why am I trying to beeline for sedentary life?
The venom clamors of a jealous woman, poison more deadly than a mad dog's tooth.
Oh, this technology actually later on enables someone to build Kumham, baby! Apparently he's a 2B hero. Dang. Learn something new every day. The reason why I'm trying to go for a sedentary lifestyle, however, is quite simple. You see, what it actually allows us is to build settlers. Earlier, you can only build tribes with a tribalism technology, which you can expand because you'll become a chiefdom. Yeah, chiefdom. And that's already quite useful, but the thing is, tribes are shite. Basically just, they are really bad. Settlers are another thing entirely. Problem is, as you can see, we need, well, almost everything. So you can just go with natural pack. Because right now it's more matter of personal preference. Preference? Maybe it's a matter of personal. Die, monstrosity! You killed our friend! More or less. Wonder how do you fight a sloth? Or at least a megatherium. Giant sloth. Is it a taker like this? I don't think so. Those might actually be a really dangerous animal, especially considering its size. Don't know. But then again, so no one does. Come on, Hank Morpok. You know you want to grow. Grow. Nice. Obsidian over. Which isn't so nice. I'd actually rather declare this kinda unnice. Because it's rocky and rather like dead camp. Hey, basically California, so that wasn't nice. But what fun.
As is the gardener, such is the garden.
Hey!
So, I don't want to actually get druidism. As a technology, basically a religion you don't really want to adopt, at least not in Caveman2Cosmos. Because simply put, it's not very good, which I kind of find shitty, but It's a game of numbers in a way, as well as a game about how you want to play this. And Druidism just isn't worth it. Which is weird considering how influential it has been in Europe, the Germanic space basically. England, Ireland, everything influenced. Some things are like, or worse. Also, hell, California is rocky and mountainous. Come on, grow and more. Grow, city of the two streams. Of course, a positive side effect is that our headhunter empire is therefore basically doomed to become what is known as the United States of headhunting. And we do need a better. Oh, good. Ah, we'll have some time. Doesn't have to be something. We'll come up with it. A Galapagos turtle? The hell? What's that one doing here? Also, I think I just made an endangered species out of it. I mean, more endangered? Ugh. Oh great, build an excrement hole. Because that sounds nice. I don't know. Oh yeah, apparently we need a butcher to actually be able to butcher animals, which would enable us to get more protection points. This plus 25%, minus 25. How about I just leave, guys? That work for you? Yeah? No? Okay. Oh, we've now collected enough points, not only so to speak, but in espionage with the Koreans, that we can now see our relative strength in comparison to their own. And lucky for us, we're actually ahead of them. That is actually quite useful. It means that the danger they actually represent, the danger they represent, is smaller than we at first imagined. But that won't stay like it forever. All enemies can rise in time if we let them and give them the time to grow.
It just takes 2 or 3 pinches of bone powder to find molecular evidence. We have protein sequences from material believed to be in range of 500,000 years old.
Well, good lucky, Peggy. Good luck, Peggy. Awesome. Yeah, as you can see, I'm basically slurring my words already. I suppose this might be as good a time as any. Artemis! one of the most widely venerated of the ancient Greek deities. Some scholars believe that the name, and indeed the goddess herself, was originally pre-Greek. Homer refers to her as Artemis Agrotera, Botnia Teron, Artemis of the wildlife, mistress of animals. The Arcadians believed she was the daughter of Demeter. Great hunter. We're just place for great character. Don't need to do everything instantly. Oh yeah, the Blackwater Drew. But time's off. Right, and as I was saying, years 32,721 BC. For tonight, I suppose that's it. My name is Richard and you've been watching The Time When Man Began. Let's play Civilization 4 Caveman2Cosmos. Thank you for watching. So I hope that you heard. In the case, thank you for spending the time with me. Till next time.